majority of men, a great majority, are on the front lines.
They're willing to put their body on the line for this, right? And I am not willing to put myself on the line for that. I'm scared.
I am scared. I'm not even going to front. Like, I would be terrified if someone told me tomorrow, hey, you got your draft notice. Really? Just keeping it real. That is how I feel. But and any woman who wants to get in this comment box and act as though that they can swing, swing a hammer and I fixed a car, so I'm a man. Yeah. Okay. Honey. Okay.
You YouTubed a couple things.
Calm down. Okay.
You can't handle the truth.
Everybody, welcome back to our channel. So there was a couple times Karen and I had said that we think women shouldn't vote.
You must be out of your goddamn mind.
I would say like a few guys were like, wow, I've never heard any women say that except for Pearly. Just Pearly things. And a woman actually sent us a clip of her because this woman that, I'm so sorry I didn't even screenshot your comment, but she said that she believes it too, and she thought she was the only one that felt that way because she thinks that society worked out better when women weren't voting, and you know, and I kind of, you know, like the proof is there. But it's so controversial. Not a lot of women say that out loud because, you know, we got some we got some real pushback on that.
Yeah, some girls like, what she said, what's next? Black people not gonna vote? No, just women.
No, just women. I'm like, people get so upset with it. Now, I want to say this, though, is that with this whole women voting, not voting thing, even some conservative women don't like when women say that. So this is like a thing that's, I would say, more rare for a woman to think this way, right? And I don't think that it hurts me as a woman at all. I still have my own voice.
I would think, though, I would think differently if women were mostly married.
Yes.
If the single woman rate was not as high as it is, and like black women being such a high rate of single women, I would say I wouldn't care. Yeah. Because I would think that a household, to me, a household should vote.
It should be a man
vote.
Should vote. The man of the house should be the one to be the leader of the house.
But because women are dominating, they vote one way, and it's not good way. Right. It's like, it's crazy,
but so this woman, she sent us a little clip of just Pearly things, right? Where she talked about this. This is a very brief video. I'm gonna put it up now so you guys can see.
So remember, but why didn't women have the right to vote? Women, so historically men had to go to war and fight. That is why women couldn't vote, was because if you had the choice today in 2022 and we were in war and you had to go fight on the front lines, would you pick it? Personally, and this is where people take me out of context and say I don't think women should vote. Personally, if I in 2022 had the choice where I had to go fight in the front lines just like the men in a war, or I could give up my right to vote, I would give up my right to vote. And that's what happened back then, is they equated voting with going to war.
So what she's saying is factually correct, by the way. They made it seem like there was suffrage, that women were wanting, like all women were just wanting to be voters, and they were fighting for their right to do, no. That's not how that was. It was
like something called the Firemen's Association, where you had to volunteer to put out fires. You also had to go to war, and most women didn't want to vote because they didn't want to do that. Right. You know what I mean? And that makes sense. Yeah. Those are men things. Yeah. You know what I mean? And by the way, I'm going to say that all these women who are going to shout us down right now saying that, you wouldn't want to stand on the front lines to fight in a war either. So stop pretending like we're equal. We aren't. Men are built for certain things mentally and physically that we aren't. You know what I mean? So that's why a lot of transgender people, when the transgender men go into women's spaces, they dominate the sports because they have male bodies. You know what I mean? There are some things that men are just more, they're built as warriors. They're built to fight and to do those things. They're mentally built to deal with it. You know, we're too emotional, and we're built for something else. Saying I would give up my right to vote. I'm not. If
that was the stipulation,
and it still should be. You tell some of these women right now, these women in their 20s, you're going to be, because we haven't had a draft since the Vietnam War. Right. But you tell some of these girls today in 2023, you know, hey, you give up your right to vote, or we're gonna have you go fight the front lines of Ukraine.
I want you would
see these girls float.
Well, and then also you wouldn't even be able to. I mean, like, to find the woman who is actually going to do it. Yeah. The women that's actually going to do it. it would be like a fine. You would never find it, okay? Because women do not want to do that, okay? I don't care if you talk a bunch of big hype game. I'm gonna go into combat and I'm gonna stop it, okay? I don't care if you like to shoot guns. I don't care if you're a woman who hunts. I don't care.
It's not a thing.
I don't care. And I don't want to hear it, okay? If you were a woman, you were told that you're getting drafted to go, or you have to give up your vote, you are giving up your vote. I don't want to hear it, okay? It's lies upon lies if you say that you would not give up your vote, right? It's just lies. It is 2023 right now. So we have all been raised to know that women can vote, clearly, okay? So do I exercise my right to vote as a woman? Of course. Yes, I do that, right? It's because it's what we're here now. But if the circumstances were different, I'm just saying, like I would definitely give up my right to do that. And also, Carol, like, brought up the very real fact is that we are emotional people. We don't make the best decisions when it comes to certain things of that level. All right. Now, I am certainly not saying that some women, there's a lot of women that I think, like, for instance, we get called all the time. Sometimes people call us misogynistic. Can you believe that? Because we think that men should be the leaders in all categories. Like, I believe that women shouldn't lead in work. I don't think they should lead in the presidency. I don't think they should lead in that way. That's what I believe. And I say that only because the evidence from the past shows us it worked. But when we started letting women in to be, congressmen and representatives and all that stuff, look
what they vote for.
Look at Ketanji Brown. This woman can't even say what a woman is. This is a.
You know why? Because we feel sorry.
I know.
For people. We feel sorry for people because we're emotional. We have sympathy. So we go along with things like abortion. A woman's right. It's my body, my choice. It's not your body. You're killing some other body.
Right.
What are you talking about? You know what I mean? It's just these sort of things. We should give kids puberty blockers because they feel like a girl or feel like a boy when they're little. Like, what are you talking about? Women go along with this stuff. And a lot of this, a lot of these votes, the reason why our country is the way it is right now is it's feminine energy.
It is.
It's emotional. You know why a lot of black men are emotional? Because most of them are raised by black women and they don't have a father. I mean, that's just in the notes. I'm sorry, but that is true. This is why we get a lot of men who are always upset with us and ready to fight with us all the time. It's because most of them are just raised with single moms and they take on their mother's identity of feelings, and then they vote ridiculous.
And then I get uncomfortable when we get certain, when I'm having these debates with these men, because I'm just thinking to myself, oh my God, it seems, I start feeling, I just have to stop at some point. So I'm like, I start feeling
like talking to a woman.
Yeah, I feel like I'm talking to a woman, and I'm like, oh my God. Yeah, I'm like, you're not even speaking like a male.
Sometimes I look down there and I see some black men in our comments and I think, oh my God, look, real man, real man, real man, real man, real man, real man. Doesn't feel sorry for us, no victocrat. Real man, oh God.
Yeah,
single mom.
The majority of you guys are true men, like true men. You can call it alpha, whatever you want to call it. But most of the people who watch us, at least, a majority are what I would consider true kind of alpha guys. But every time I see this string of he gets it, he's a man. That's what I'm talking about right there, okay? Male energy. Male dominated, and I like that, right? And then we get that one.
We actually had a guy actually comment on another guy's post and say, "Are you a woman?"
Yeah.
Because sometimes
he wrote an emotional long post.
When people write really a lot, they really get their feelings and they write this long drawn out post. And then sometimes other men come in and go, "You sound like a woman." You know what I mean? Because real men know real men. They know when you've been pacified, like you know what I mean. And so look, I'm not saying that when they watch this, they'll say, "Oh, you're like caping up for men and you pick me."
Same thing.
You know what I mean? I'm not saying that men should. I'm saying men are running the world.
So let them.
You know what I mean? Let them. You know what I mean? Let's stop pretending like if we didn't have all of these technology advances, that we wouldn't still be in the kitchen and love it.
I mean, during the Little House on the Prairie days, it was the 1800s. That was like the 1800s, right?
1875.
Yeah, 1800s. They were manual. Women were 100% manual.
And 1950.
And then men started creating very convenient things for us. Where it all became very convenient for us. Now, I'm happy about
I don't know too many working women that are, 35, 40, that are happy women. They're always angry. They're always mad about something. You know what I mean? It's like, why? You wanted this. This is the life you wanted. So why are you upset? They're always mad. They're always mad at men. They're always mad.
What are you mad at?
I can't do that. I can't, blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean? And then now we got women that are 18 and you can't take my way my right to abortion and my rights. Like, what are you talking about? Like, seriously, like we are too emotional to be leaders.
Yes, and
I know that because I'm a woman.
But
I'm not saying that just because I'm not taking myself out of it. I may not feel like I am because I'm telling like the truth. But the truth is that most women don't want to fight wars. Most women don't even want to go downstairs if they hear a noise in their house. They send their husband down there. To this day, most women will not do that. You know why men do that? Most men are going to run into a burning building and get a child out. You know why? Because it's just instinctual. It's just nature. That is how men are inside. The majority of men, now there are some men that are wimps, that they're not going to do it and they're afraid to choose themselves over everybody else. You know what I mean? But the great majority of men, white, black, Hispanic, I don't care who, they have the instinct to hunt. They have the instinct to protect. And we just don't really have that. And
they also do things without, like most real men. So you guys have to distinguish that because now we don't have all of that, okay? But they do things without complaint, even if they want to complain. They suppress that a bit so they can get the job done is what I'm trying to say, right? And I remember I talked to a guy, he started talking about when he got drafted. He's, oh yeah, I got drafted in, blah, blah, blah. I said, well, what was that like? Like, how does that work? Like, what does he do? And he started explaining to me, back, he was an older man obviously now, but when he got drafted, and I thought, I would be terrified. He said, well, I said, were you scared when you got the draft notice? He said, yeah. He said, no one would know. But yeah, most of us were. It was no one would know because men, he said this to me. Men just handle things differently. You, as a lady, should not be fighting in anyone's war.
Here we got Kamala Harris going to African countries, different African countries, trying to bribe them with money and get them on board with LGBT. And they're like, these men are like, get the hell out of my country. I ain't doing this. You know what I mean? It's just like, you know what I'm saying? A woman.
We do emotional stuff. We do unnecessary emotional stuff that just gets
us out of our country with this propaganda. Get out. You know what I mean?
More trouble.
They don't want that. You know what I mean? And so this is the thing is like, Ketanji Brown Jackson. I don't know what a woman is. I'm not a biologist. Really? You need to be a biologist to know if you're a man or a woman? Really? It's just like you're Supreme Court. You're going to the Supreme Court. It's like stuff like that. It's just like we're so emotional that we're the one, BLM, women. Yeah.
Now the
feminine
question,
energy, even the gay community, feminine energy. Yeah. You know what I mean? The women's movement, feminine energy. This is why our country is where it is now. It's because it's too much feelings.
So now the argument would be now, and I'm just going to go ahead and, because I know that this would be the question is, you don't think that any woman can lead anything? Like, you don't think women can lead in any way, shape, or form? So that's not exactly what I'm saying. Women can lead if necessary, if they feel like they have to, but I don't think that it would be done as men would do it.
But don't make any mistake. Women do not need to be pastors. They do not even need president. They don't need to be the head of any military. They don't. None of that.
I just don't think that it does. I feel like it's gonna do more harm than good. I do. I just really feel that way. And I'm only saying that based on history. Yeah. It worked before. I watched the look. What's that I watched the was it WW2 documentary? That 12. How many hours is that documentaries were like docuseries? Like 12 hours where I watched that entire thing. Okay, and watching these men do all of that during that war, and just hours of footage. I was so, like, I don't say impressed, but I was just in awe of what these men were having to do and willing to do and doing it. Some didn't even want to do it, but they did it.
We're not the lead. We're just not. We don't do well in those positions.
It's an important role, though. Support is an important role. It's an important role.
I mean, look at Hillary Clinton. Really?
Lord have mercy.
Can you imagine if that woman won? I mean,
she's crazy.
She's a nut.
And she's emotional.
A criminal. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, I'm just saying, like, there is something. It's just it doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel right when women start trying to take over. It just does not feel right. It feels scary to me. It feels like other countries are looking down at us, and other countries think they can take us. Because you go over to China, they're gearing those boys up to be in the military. You go over to Russia, it's the same way. Yeah. You come over to America, and we got a transgender guy as the first.
Right.
we've got you know what I mean. We we care. That's what we care about in our military. LGBTQ.
Yeah, they're right.
There's no place in the military for that. Military is masculine energy. That is it. Who was saying that? I think I can't remember who was saying it. He was just like, there's just no place for all of this feminine, LGBTQ, feminism stuff in the military. Because the military is one place where it is truly masculine.
I know, I talked to a Marine not so long ago, and he said, quite frankly, a lot of it's very distracting. I said, the LGBT, he said that, and women. I said, why women? He said, my male brain is brought up to protect women. So when I have a woman soldier next to me, it's very hard sometimes, not all the time. I get the job done, and we get our, he's like, but there is a little bit of something in my head where I have to retrain myself to be okay with her getting beat up or shot down or something. He said, and then the LGBT stuff comes in. It's like, now we're all talking about that. He goes, it's like I want to focus on the task at hand, which we do. Our military does do that. He said, which we do. He said, but it is kind of an odd dynamic being around women soldiers. It's a very odd dynamic as a masculine man. Now, there's a lot of, he said, some men in the military where, they're raised with their mothers, and it's like, and their aunts and their grandmas. And so they're used to seeing women be in charge. But for men like me, where I'm not used to seeing that, it's kind of strange. And I told him, I was like, well, I don't think women should be in charge at those kinds of levels in any form. I said, only because I think that of what you're saying, because it's not going to be a distraction.
Yeah, in combat, for sure. Men are there to protect the nation. So the idea of watching a woman become a POW and watch what they do to women when they get captured. It would be hard for a lot of men who have also been captured to watch this woman get raped, because that's what's going to happen. You know what I mean? And to watch her get beat up, and then they're just standing there watching. That's not natural for a man to be able to sit there and endure that. You know what I mean? But there was a I can't remember, it was Ben Shapiro or something. They were talking about, is it time for men and women to separate when it comes to work? Because I think even Candace Owens talked about this.
I think Candace talked about that too.
But also someone else did. They were talking about the fact that a lot of women now at the gym are filming guys.
I know. We've seen this.
And calling them, sexist pigs, and they're, saying, oh, he's trying to hit on me and all this. And so they're saying, should we just have separate gyms now?
Yeah.
And then it went further. Should men and women even work together with all the sexual harassment cases that keep happening to men at jobs? When the wind blows a woman wrong, she's ready to, call for sexual harassment. They're like, are women just a distraction? Is this the reason why women never were allowed to, this is the reason why women weren't
this is why they want to keep that voting
in the military, weren't really at work.
Yeah.
Men do better when they don't have that distraction right there. And Jason Whitlock talked about it too. He was saying, because the thing is that men think about sex all day. Yeah. And the truth is that women at work are kind of a distraction when we're trying to do serious stuff, because we think about it even when they're not there. When they're there and they're, wearing form-fitting clothes and things like, he was just like, this is the reason why the Muslims have women dress in the hijab, the hijab and stuff, is because they think, like, even when they pray, they don't pray in the same space. No. Because bending over and looking at a woman, they think that
most of the time the women are behind the men.
Yeah.
And they bend over.
Front, right. Because they think that to truly know a woman, you can't be distracted by her physical appearance. Which kind of, in a way, if you think about it, is oppressive as that may look, it also sounds like real feminism. Yeah. Because you're getting to know the woman for who she is and not the way she looks. But like in our culture, women are always half naked. I know, and men are so distracted because that's all they see is our bodies all day, and so they don't even care what we're saying. You know what I mean? They miss things that we say. You know what I mean? So I just think that as far as women voting, I don't see why we're doing it. I don't know.
I like to learn about. I like the political talk, right? I'm not like a fanatic or anything, but I do like to know about the political. So I do like that kind of arena, So because I have the option to vote, I do that. You know what I mean? But I'm gonna say that someone said, "Oh, Danielle, by the way, there's a new thing going on where women can't vote anymore. Sign on the dotted line. Sorry," I wouldn't be heartbroken. Like, no. I really wouldn't be like, "What? I'm gonna go out there and protest. Where's my sign? Where's my pin?" I don't think that would faze me whatsoever. I'd just be like, "Oh, okay. Next."
I mean, like I said,
but I think some women would be like, "Oh, they would take it to the streets." They would totally take it to the streets. They'd be like, "Oh my God."
Now they would, but they didn't take it to the streets when we initially wanted to vote. We initially wanted to vote. They weren't. They were like, "I don't want to do this. I don't want to fight no war." You know what I mean? But we've made everything so easy for women now that they think that we talk without thinking.
I know.
We think we're such. We think we're like up here. We're so independent. We can do everything. But the truth is that everything that we're independent doing has been carved out for us from men. You know what I mean? So if the bottom dropped out.
Yeah.
And we ended up being like a socialist country or something, like a Nazi Germany or something, you'd be clinging to men.
I mean, think about it.
Quickly.
Think about it.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Because we need men and their logic.
Yeah, and I'm not gonna sit here and lie. See, the thing is that I'm not gonna sit here and tell a lie. All right, I'm not gonna sit here and try to be a big tough girl, where I think I'm about to go fight some other military. I'm not gonna act like I'm gonna be a cop. Okay, and again, I'm sorry, I'm not trying to be offensive, I'm trying to be real. I'm trying to be real and honest. I just wouldn't feel comfortable in that position. It's just so masculine, right? It's just such a masculine position.
Yeah, I mean, there was a few men during the Vietnam War when they got drafted, they moved to Canada because they were afraid. Yeah. You know what I mean? But man, you tell women today they get drafted, all these women would be half of the population of women in America would be trying to find their way into Canada. You know what I mean? Because women don't naturally want to do that. Yeah. Like I said, when you're watching that whatever, even when you watch Pearly, one of those whatever podcasts. Those girls aren't fighting no war.
No,
those women care about nail polish and hair.
Yeah,
they think they're independent because everything around them, they can go Postmates everything. Everything's so easy that they've let it get to their head that they're just so self-sufficient.
Yeah,
but they have no idea. Most of them can't even cook a meal.
I know.
But they have no idea what it means to actually have to fight for that vote. And this is the reason why I think men should, because most men are on the front. Majority of men, a great majority, are on the front lines.
They're willing to put their body on the line for this, right? And I am not willing to put myself on the line for that. I'm scared.
I am scared. Right.
I'm not even going to front.
Like, I would be terrified if someone told me tomorrow, "Hey, you got your draft notice."
I would cry.
I would cry right now if someone said you had to go put out a fire. In a burning building,
okay.
I have to go in.
How do I do that?
It's like, I'm just keeping it real. That is how I feel. But and any woman who wants to get in this comment box and act as though that they can swing, swing a hammer and I fixed a car, so I'm a man. Yeah. Okay. Honey.
Okay. You YouTubed a couple things.
Calm down. Okay. Calm down.
You did a couple of interesting things. Okay. And
I'm talking about real.
We actually know a lady carpenter.
Yeah.
I'm like, this one's a carpenter. Okay, listen to what I'm saying, because sometimes people hear things they just don't really want to listen to. We're not saying that women haven't done masculine types of things, masculine jobs or whatever. That happens. It's happening right now. What I'm saying is that is the rare. That is the exception. That is not the rule. Most women do not want to be carpenters. Most women don't want to be firefighters. Most women want to be police officers. They want to be in the military. Most women don't want to do that. Okay, but there are women who do.
So most of these women in the military don't want to do it.
Yes,
I wish I could find that. There was this video the Black Conservative Perspective put up. It was this girl that was in the military. She had to be about 21 years old. Yeah. Anyway, she kept taking pictures in her military uniform, all kinds of selfies. Well, when we went when the threat was going, we were going to Ukraine to fight. She got wind of it because her superiors told her.
Yeah.
She got on in her car phone and she was crying on a camera, talking about this is real, y'all.
We got PFC Wells here sharing her entire army enlistment on TikTok. It was all fun and games, the twerking, the ass shaking. Then we get a slight fly in the ointment to the TikTok stardom. Russia invades Ukraine, then there's a slight possibility of deployment. Let's take a gander.
How the army got you up today, Wells? Well,
she dancing, living the good life off army money. Living the going crazy.
I really hated how people are so insensitive, especially it's the civilians, but they're so insensitive to what military people really go through.
Let's start off by saying you can't expect civilians to appreciate the day-to-day life of a young PFC in the Army. Don't expect that. And when you put your Army enlistment on display on TikTok, guess what? You're going to get some backlash. I'm going to get into my opinion of this, but let's hear what the fine young PFC has to say.
This is my first term. And it's y'all, what makes me so mad is y'all are so insensitive.
You crying, boy? Maybe we'll go back down to McDonald's and get you a Lamburger and some French fries.
Y'all want to talk about, this is what you signed up for, wanting to go to war, thinking they're going to go to war. I'm financed, for crying out loud.
But I'm going to chalk all this up to a life lesson. You got a young person, probably never had a real job. Now all of a sudden you're dealing with the realities of working, of having a boss that says, hey, show up here at this time, Wells. We're working Saturdays. Suck it up. That could be civilian job, military job. I don't really equate that as much to the military as I do just a young person trying to figure it out, and all of a sudden expectations and reality don't match up.
It's please just be sensitive to stuff, because I'm not gonna lie to any of you. I'm scared as hell right now.
And I don't know if I really want to go. I can't believe that this is going to happen. This is for real. We could go to war and I have to go because I'm in the military. You know what I mean? That's how she was talking. It's just he was saying, Greg was saying, and this is what I'm talking about. Some of these women that are in the military don't really know what they're talking about, because they don't think they're actually going to have to go. It's true. They think they're going there for school and stuff like that, and they can have bragging points to saying they're in the military. But a lot of them, if the threat of real war was faced with them, would cry and run home. Just like that girl's doing. And she really was sobbing. She was not playing. She did like 2 or 3 videos because she was so scared.
Selfie time's over.
She stopped taking little, she's like, I'm getting out of this. I don't even know if I can now because we might go to war and I'm already signed up. And I was just like, yeah. And I know that most women in the military do feel this way.
Yeah, I know.
That we're, and because I know a lot of women are going, I know I'm in the military.
But exception.
But you're in the military without war.
It's like.
Until you really have to use those guns.
Yeah.
And until you really have to put your body on a grenade.
Yeah. Until
you have to face the end of a gun.
Right.
Don't talk to me about your because most men that go to the military, they will go to war. Yeah. They'll go to war afraid.
There's unnatural things that happen that are just that just and women in that position seems unnatural. Just having to be in a space where it's that much loud shooting and it just seems unnatural for women to be in that space. And again, can't stress it enough. It doesn't matter how many times that I say this, Kara, there's still gonna be people who are not gonna listen to what I'm saying. Yeah. Okay, I understand that there are exceptions, but we're talking about the rule. We always assume the rule when we're doing these conversations. Okay, so someone's gonna say, "Oh, my mother is a mechanic," and she, exception.
Perspective.
Yeah.
There are some things your mother still wants.
Right.
With arms and legs. You know what I mean? Stop playing this game. No, I hate when women try to act like their britches are bigger than they are. Because when I'm telling you, you know what? Russia took out Ukraine's power grid. Yeah. I could only imagine if someone took out our power grid and all the women. Let me tell you, I'd be sad.
I'd be sad.
You know what I mean? And how women couldn't, if these women couldn't upload booty pictures.
Yeah.
But I mean, look, I'm just keeping it real. I know that
we'll get pushed back on this.
We'll get pushed back.
It's okay.
I don't think women vote well. I think we don't do a good job at voting at all. You know what I mean? Yeah. I see I talk to women on a daily, even white women on a daily basis, and they're stuck on stupid on a lot of issues. It's like, what are you talking about? It's just like a lot of stuff that's wrong with our country has to do with exactly what these women vote for. Yeah. And I just think that,
yeah, and also I just
say even during Jim Crow, black people were doing better. You know what I mean? Black men were working. I mean, what did it say? What did Robert Wilson say? He said before when the welfare when the welfare really started kicking in the '60s, he was just like he said floods of black women were going into the welfare system. He said at a time when the unemployment rate. He said it was when the unemployment rate was under 4%. People were rushing to the welfare system, and again that was target to women. Yeah. And so that's what I'm saying. certain bad policies always grab women, and we vote for them every single time. And it's like, I just think that it is better when we have less women running things, and the majority, great majority, needs to be men, because sometimes I say things that are just illogical.
I know,
you know what I mean? Just because I just think with my feelings sometimes, and then I think after it happened, maybe we should have did that. Yeah. You know what I mean? Because that was probably a mistake. Something probably a man would never thought to do, because he can see the future and I can only see the now.
He sees the bigger picture.
Yeah, men. That is the reason why men are better at stuff, because they see the bigger picture. Yeah. They see tomorrow, and we only see the now. Because when you're in your feelings, that is how you think. You think about how you feel right now.
Right. Now this is all very uncomfortable for a lot of women. It's not uncomfortable for me, but it's very uncomfortable for a lot of women to maybe hear women talk like this and say something like that, because not a lot of women that do. But I will go ahead and just guarantee you that if there was a stipulation with their voting, and it was that they had to go and do something that was more masculine, that is out of their comfort zone, most women go ahead and give up that vote. Most women would. Whether they want to admit it or not, they probably would. But I can tell you this, that it's 2023, and it's going to be very difficult for a woman to hear what we're saying and be able to take it in a real way. So I just say, find the logic somewhere in you and see where that does make sense, that maybe men should just be the ones voting. I know, because people are going to get emotional. Women they're going to get emotional about it and not understand exactly what we're saying. I do. And I guarantee you, though, that, if you get a woman president,
what if it was required to be in the military to be a voter?
Think about that.
If it was required. If it was required, most women wouldn't go. Yeah. There would be most men. Most men, there would be men who wouldn't do it, but the majority of women would definitely not vote. They would not enter the military. But again, I'm not even saying go to war. I'm saying you have to, in order to vote, you have to be a part of the military. Yeah. Most women aren't doing that. Well, I can tell you right now, that's just not a thing.
Again, being a woman who participates, who likes to listen to politics, politics in general, and who participates in voting, I'll vote. Yeah. But I will say, even though I'm someone who likes politics and knows a lot about politics and and all of this, I still would give it up if that was the draft or something that happened. I'd be like, oh, okay, never mind. I'll just listen to them talk on TV and watch the debates. I would just be that person. I wouldn't mind giving it up. It wouldn't matter to me. In 2023, it wouldn't matter to me.
And also in the women's movement.
Yes.
The instant we had to, if we had to enter the military to vote, most women would say no, and most women would not vote for any of these feminist policies ever again. Gloria Steinem would be a thing of the past. Yeah. Because these women are like, oh no, I'd rather get married.
Yeah, these people were.
You know what I mean? Like a lot of these, almost every woman would say, no, I'd rather get married. I don't even want to work now. Right.
And any woman that says otherwise is lying. You're lying. Or you're not being real with yourself. Think about it. How comfortable you like to be as a lady, and then put yourself mentally in a situation where it is 100% aggressive, violent, and masculine. 100%. I'm telling you, you wouldn't do it. You would totally give it up. You would totally give it up. I would debate someone to the ends of times and bet that you would give it up. You would.
One of those bloated days where Charlie's coming after you.
Right.
And you be shooting the men that are on your side.
We're done. Very good. Okay. Like, we can't help feeling the way we feel about this because we're women.
Yeah, I mean,
we play a very important role in society. Women do.
We do a very important role. But it's the support role.
But I really wish women would understand how important the supporting role is to our society. And I think that women just feel like they have to feel like the leader, because if you don't, then somehow that makes you a weak, second-class citizen of the world.
Well, I mean,
right? And it's not true. Right. I don't think women see it. Women just not today they don't see it. I know how powerful the supporting role is. I know how important.
As a woman, I do know my power.
I do know how important it is to be a woman in society and how needed that we actually are. So you can operate off a delusion that women, if you're a woman, you operate off the delusion that you have to be a CEO and a president of the United States. We have to be the leader of everything. I think that's just silly. And it's emotional. That's emotional in itself to think that you have to be on top of everything. The truth is that being a woman is powerful, and it's perspective role. It is, and I think more women should understand that. But this voting thing, I completely agree with. you know, just Pearly things, what she was saying. She's absolutely right, and everyone knows that she is.
Because the dirty jobs, women aren't trying to get equal rights in that. We're not trying to get equal rights in cleaning sewers. Equal rights in, you know, in being farmers and stuff like that. We're only trying to get equal rights in CEOs. But we're not trying to get equal rights in the infrastructure part of the country. That's where men really dominate. And the thing is that's how I know that most women won't go to war, because they won't even do the stuff that's that's here on our land.
Right. Okay, you guys, let's know what you think. Do you think women should vote? If you're a woman, do you think that it's wrong for us to say that? I'm sure you do. Men, let us know what you think. Leave some comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel. We would greatly appreciate that. And we will see you guys in the next video.